Is there a God? Is he watching? Is she watching? Are they watching now? Hey guys, my collective, it's Michaela Lori, and we are back with another video. It's been a while, it's been some time. I'm hoping that the audio is clear. Today we're just going to be doing another episode for our industry messages. That is more so the poll that I've been going towards, and as we're starting off, we have Candles in the Sun, so it's right on brand. We are going to jump right in. So the energy that we need to know right now is kind of surrounding romance and connection. And one thing to keep in mind with romance and connection is that it's not always romance. Like, we are in these connections with our friends, but our friends serve as lovers. Lovers should serve as friends. They're kind of interchangeable. So while I'm not getting full-on romance, I am getting like close connections or connections that will be long-standing. And the card that came out after was Blessings and Abundance. I don't seem to be pulling too many messages right now from this deck. We have joy and contentment and the underlying energy of transformation. So a lot of you guys right now are probably phasing out of older contracts, and I wouldn't say it's not painful, but right now is not the time to like overanalyze or internalize any of the shifts that are taking place, just because we are wrapping up a lot of cycles that are not fit to be on this new timeline. So with that, I guess we can talk about what it means to really be a friend, and we'll make it an intuitive read. But what's friendship? So we are gonna just start off with the definition of friendship. So friendship is a close, voluntary relationship between two or more people that is built on trust, honesty, and mutual respect. So right now, I need you to go down the list of people that you consider to be your friends. Are they leading lives that are trusting or trustworthy? Are they honest? Is there mutual respect? A lot of people are going to realize, like, okay, I call this person my friend based off of proximity, but when it comes to core values, when it comes to being like-minded, when it comes to holding the same just basic values and principles of life, they're not the same. And it's not to say that you cannot be peaceful, but it doesn't really benefit you to keep people around you who are not going where you're going. You can have conversation with anybody. It's 2024. The internet is limitless. It's expansive. You can connect with someone that has a past life connection to you, except this time you're in Minnesota and they're in Japan. Friendship is not this thing that takes time and you actually have to plan dates and get to know one another. And I hope that I'm not tapping into any parasocial dynamics. I'm not really getting that, but there's a fine line between calling someone your friend and being able to just have open and friendly conversation. The two need not be confused. And I will say, I did just lose a friend this weekend, and rest in peace to her. I just do understand that a lot of people, their time is done on earth. And I split the deck. I haven't shuffled yet, but resurrection was in reverse. And so a lot of people, even if they are still here physically on this earth, they're not renewing their contracts. So as far as ascension goes, they are choosing to stay in outdated timelines, to where they are bound to toxicity, where they're bound to their vices, where they are pretty much just overall engulfed in their negativity, and they will feed off and bounce off of others who are in similar vibrations to them. And if you are on the path of ascension or just even expanding your mind, then you understand that they simply can't go with you. It's not a personal thing. It may feel personal. It may affect you on a personal level. But the question at hand is, what lesson were they here to teach me? What should I have learned from them? And while I was just sitting, reflecting on the connection that me and this friend shared, it really brought out some of my more overlooked aspects within, where I am very nurturing, or I can be very nurturing, and she was 4 or 5 years younger than me, but the bond that we had definitely highlighted to me my strengths. So I was able to sit today, and it's only been 2 days since she's passed. However, I've been just kind of honing in on my maternal energy, and although we didn't speak closer to her passing, it was the happier memories that really brought out, what this friendship was for. And it's not to say that I acted as a mother to her, but I was definitely in a role where I could encourage her, I could speak life into her, I could uplift her, or simply just, be out with her to take her mind off of things that were going on around. So again, it's not to demonize people, but it's to understand and accept them for where they are in their journey, and understand the lesson that they're there to teach you. So as an example, you can be on a path and you can see someone up ahead, and you can stop and talk to them. But you stopping to talk to them doesn't mean that you join them on your journey. You might talk to them and say, oh yeah, I've been that way before, and when you're going this way, you're going to want to avoid passing by that tree. You're going to want to avoid this one bush that has these specific berries. There's a reason that you stop to talk to that person on the path, but that does not mean you join them, and that does not mean that they're going to join you. So the first card that we have out is Great Diviner, and the underlying energy is Essence in reverse. So with that, I am getting an energy of destiny swapping. And when I split the deck, it's tradition. So right now the veil is really thin. So a lot of things that do go on in the background normally are now coming to the forefront, or it's going to be easier for people to kind of align with a different truth, even if it isn't natural to them. So for example, and we can use Aaliyah for an example. She may not have back then been privy to the energy of destiny swapping. So that means that where it could be painted to look like a mere mistake or something, just spontaneous, if it were to be explained now, people would be in a level of understanding to where, okay, so I don't know, I'm going to flip this deck because that's too many reversals and not all of them are. But whereas someone might have seen it as something coincidental or, a freak accident, those who know, or those who have eyes to see, ears to hear, and a mind to know, they would know that there's foul play on a spiritual level, and that there are forces, seen and unseen, that play a part into people's demise. So right now I am getting called to say, be aware of the demonic entities that you are entertaining in the people that you call friends. So just because you are friends with someone based on the fact that you are walking in the light, or you are expanding your journey into the light, doesn't mean that your darkness doesn't exist, and it doesn't mean their darkness doesn't exist. So in the absence of light, there is darkness, right? So in this darkness, you need to know what and who you're entertaining. When it's dark and you can't see, you may be prone to just be accepting of someone because that is your close friend, that is someone you know, that's someone that you love. But if your demons aren't in agreement with their demons, then you're going to have a clash. You are going to have to draw some kind of energetic boundaries. The way for you to do that is, number one, by knowing the entities that you are dealing with. So whether it is an entity that causes obsession. So this is for my collective that may have associates or friends who are boy crazy or girl crazy. Everything that they do is centered around the male or female gaze, which when not balanced or regulated is obsession. And obsession isn't healthy. That's not something you should do. That's not something that I even recommend anybody does. But if you're not able to identify it, you're not able to protect yourself, or you're not able to be on alert so that their energy doesn't overtake you or try to overpower your thought, your vessel, your mental space, or your mental landscape. So I can't say, and I wouldn't tell anyone there's one way to go about doing this, but what works for me is kind of just on a telepathic level. If you're tapped in that way, is to ask the entity, who are you? A lot of the times you can tell via actions, by the words they use, by the heart and body posture that they display. It's easy, or it's easier for me to identify through actions, but if the energy wants to cloak itself, it is a lot easier to just simply ask, who are you? What are you here for? And I have the pay attention card right here. So it's not to say that you need to be hyper vigilant around those you're around, but you need to be able to have some kind of protocol in place for when there is turbulent or oppressive energy at play, and the bodies of those that you love are being borrowed by these entities to work out their own agendas. And I wouldn't say go around trying to exercise people or do anything crazy like that, but on a energetic level, none of those oppressive entities have domain over your physical vessel. They will try to overpower and get into spaces with people who don't know any better, or people who are not hip to what's going on. However, give me a second. Alrighty, lost my train of thought, so we're just gonna go shuffling through this deck again. So yeah, transformation right now, and I believe this is a black horse. Yeah, a black horse with transformation. So allowing yourself the space to grow, the freedom to grow. Animal energy / channel peace. Do not let the entities come in and disrupt your flow. Another person's demons are not yours to handle. And one thing to note about friendships and connections is a lot of the time you will be friends, or you will make these connections with people based on your shadow aspects being able to get along. So it's not to say that everybody bonds over negativity, but your level of tolerance for an individual often stems from how well can your demons coexist. If your demons don't get along with mine, more than likely you're not going to like me. And it's not to say that I'm better than you, my demons are lesser, yours are better. It's not to say any of that. I'm more so alluding to the fact that if I am someone who, let's say, had a quote unquote gay phase, that would have been a entity of confusion, so to speak, bisexuality, that I would have to work through in order to be firm in, okay, I am a heterosexual woman. So now if I meet a woman who openly identifies as bisexual but does not know what she really wants, my demon might trigger her. And I wouldn't say my demon, but my ability to conquer and put a lid on my demon is going to rub her the wrong way. So that could play out in numerous ways. It's just an example. But yeah, it's important to understand that a lot of the times we do form these connections based on things that we can't see. So where you're meeting someone and you're saying, oh my gosh, I feel so drawn to you, or we connected like this, it's deeper than, having shared interests, is deeper than liking the same music. Like it's deeper than that. And so autonomy, and with autonomy, to me, that just kind of speaks to standing your own ground when it comes to what you want out of life. Groupthink is one thing, but hive mind is another. So hive mind in correlation to friendships means like, one band, one sound. So right now it's important to kind of know yourself. So we have autonomy, metaverse, and guidance. So being the orchestrator or the co-creator of your existence, not allowing those outside influences to have any say so on what you realistically have going on in your world. Right now is not a place for that. So you're definitely going to want to take a little bit time to love on yourself, and not in the way that is trying to replace, platonic and friendly love, but in a way that doesn't make that kind of love at the forefront of your world. Right now, you really need to be working on the friendships that are within you, making friends with your guides, is what I'm hearing, your spirit team. Those are your real friends. And although we do need community, the first community that you have is within. And so right now you're being asked to just create a safe space, and gratitude for the fact that you're able to connect with different people. You're able to hold these different wow, can't make this up. You're able to make these different connections, and in the midst of it still be protected. So we have Oya with protection, and we also have hood love and community. So knowing that meeting these people, it means that you are protected. You're protected from beyond. And so while you have your guides, they have their guides. Communally, you guys look out for each other. But right now, tap back into your internal dialogue and just make sure the voices that you are convening with are not yours. So right now, there is a high chance of you getting entangled in other people's karma. So again, that autonomy card was very telling, to where you kind of just need to be in your own energy. And one thing I do need to highlight is that if someone is your friend or someone that claims to be for you, they are not, or they should not take you needing time away personally, or you needing to recalibrate yourself as an attack on them. When you start to realize that there's resistance when you are setting these boundaries to be able to keep just a level of peace in your own reality, when you see that start to upset others, you should really take a note of it, a mental note, because those people can easily become a threat to what you are trying to build and orchestrate for yourself. I feel like that message was pretty straight through. I'm just gonna see if there's anything else. I don't think this is the full deck. So automatically we got the Lovers, but again, that's just union and connections. It's not always romance, and it fell out again. So yeah, walking away right now, that combative energy. And I didn't get to shuffle yet, but I did shuffle the decks before I put them up, just to clear the energy. So right now, and I don't too much care for this energy, but it's difficult for me not to call it as I see it. There is going to be emotionally and physically walking away from a lot of connections right now. So a lot of people, I realize, are comfortable making jokes with their friends, but like I said, certain connections are just based off of the fact that you guys have a few things in common, or the same people, or for some, y'all used to work together, you went to school together. So as far as proximity goes, you guys have, a bond there. But outside of that, it looks like this: chaos, fighting, quarreling. You always having to check your friend. You're always having to catch a slick comment like, did I hear that right? Or what did you mean by that? Those are the connections that are being put to the forefront right now. Yeah, because balance needs to be brought in. They are not going to be able to sustain on this new timeline. So I'm getting the example. If you have a friend who you can see that they have things to be grateful for, and the universe or God is giving them an opportunity to give thanks, but they rather fold up their arms and be in a pouty, puffy position and think about all the negativity going on in their life, and that's just who you know that person to be, it's probably going to get draining if you consider yourself to be more of an optimistic, positive person. You're not going to want that kind of energy around. You can only give to that person so much before you have to draw a boundary and stand up and say, hey, I'm not going to go for that. Like, you can throw yourself a pity party, but do it by yourself. You're going to have to leave them out in the cold. And Leaving them out in the cold, in theory, just alludes to making space for those new beginnings with people who are going to match your vibe, people who stand on their thrones and know their truth with their wands in their hand, and they're ready to make the magic happen. So right now, you guys are moving into territories where, and we've been channeling this energy for some time. Okay, I'm going to have some water, but it kind of feels like I'm straining to talk, and that's not normal. I have like great breath control. So yeah, I did split the deck just because that energy was a little bit intrusive. It interrupted my flow. But yeah, you're just going to be opening up the door to connections that are more emotionally fulfilling. You shouldn't have to feel like you're constantly babysitting or having to reparent the people who are your friends. Like, it's cute to be the mom friend, it's cute to be the dad friend, but you need to be around other mom and dad friends for you to feel comfortable. Who's looking out for you if you're always playing certain roles? I do not like this. Some of you, I won't even say a lot, some of you may be around people who feed into oppressive illusions to where you're not able to speak your truth, or you don't feel comfortable speaking up for who you are, what you believe in, because you rather keep the peace. That has to go. Right now, you need to be around people who are fostering your passion, your passion projects, your passionate ideas. I do not like how my voice sounds right now, or it's like I'm out of breath or I'm straining to talk. You need to open up and speak. I do not like this feeling at all. So yeah, you're supposed to be in this Empress energy. An Empress is not afraid to speak. An Empress calls shots. An Empress says what to do. If you are in any position where you feel timid or you feel like you're holding back what you want to say, just know that right now is a chance to make it right. We have an eclipse coming up in a couple of days, and you're going to have to choose a path. It's easier to deal with and coddle adults, but it's not beneficial at all. Like, you have to let it go. It leaves you like this. I cannot make this up. Like, people lie, energy lies. Energy does lie. We're actually going to get on that. I did not mean to say it like that. Cards lie, energy doesn't, is what I maybe wanted to say. But yeah, it will leave you feeling like this. And so where energy will lie, I'm going to take that back. Energy does not lie. People lie when you call them out on their energy. So if you're constantly having to choose between, did I hear that right? Or am I making the right decision with this person? And it's causing you to feel like burdensome, or in this case where it feels like someone is like applying pressure to my throat chakra. Is it worth the connection? Is it worth having to celebrate and party with people who make you feel like this? This card just speaks to, you are a badass being full of life, love, and possibility. Through this deck, may you find your path to your best self. Yeah, a lot of you are going to be identifying the ways that these connections break your heart a little. Like, little by little, like, oh, they said that, oh, they did that, oh, it made me feel. A lot of things that we accept in friendships are not normal, and again, that's just kind of based off of proximity. We went to elementary school together. This is like the beginning. I know her from childhood, and so that's why I accept that crumb energy, you know, Knight of Pentacles. And so we have two beginner energies after heartbreak. And I was having a conversation earlier this week just in regards of parents setting the tone for what we accept. So the conversation was pretty much about, if you put your hands on a child, they grow up thinking that love hurts. Okay, this person did this to me. Yes, it hurt, but they did it because they love me. That is the mindset that we have in a lot of these friendships, where it's like, okay, yeah, such and such said this to me. It did hurt my feelings, but that's my friend, so it's okay. No, it's not. Reprogram your brain. It's not normal. You should not be falling out with someone like clockwork. You should not be constantly in combative situations with someone who's your friend. And I say this because anyone who wants to be in friendship or connection with you is going to do their best to make sure that you feel understood. You may not be understood, but they're going to try their hardest to make sure you know that they are willing to put in the energetic work, so you feel seen, you feel heard, and you know that your voice matters. So yeah, a lot of you again feel like you're carrying the weight of the world from these friendships, and that's not cute. That's not cute at all. So we got to clean that up. I'm gonna cap this video for 6 minutes. It's been 24 so far. And yeah, so to end it off, just, you know, keep working on yourself as these little interruptions come. Think of it how kids deal with situations. So with the full energy, it speaks to just like innocence or just doing things from your heart space, childlike energy. How do kids interact with their friends? There is this segment on YouTube. Let me see. It might be a show. Okay, it's a British show. I am looking for the name of it. Okay, so the show is called Boys and Girls Alone. And basically in the show, these kids are so, to me, they're really funny because of course, people are people. So although they're kids, they are pretty much having adult and real life conversations about crushes and just whatever goes on in a kid's world. But a lot of them are like really blunt, and a lot of them just say things. Kids don't really care if your feelings get hurt. If your feelings get hurt, then they'll address it. So right now I feel like you're being called to kind of go in that kid like energy. Say what you mean what you say, and deal with the consequences later. There is no real consequence for living in your truth unless your truth is harmful to others, unless your truth poses a threat to, like, you know, general society. There's no real consequence. Like, who's honestly truthfully gonna beat you up for speaking your truth? Nobody. You're gonna move on, and you're gonna find people who are okay with you speaking your truth, who want you to speak your truth, who are gonna join you in speaking your truth. And that's the truth here with the Hierophant and the Ace of Swords to follow. I really can't make this up. So right now, a lot of you, the overall vibe that I'm getting, and we do have the Star card peeking right here, is you guys are just looking to find your soul tribe. And soul tribe often is not going to come from those familiar places. They may feel kindred. The friendships may seem really fun and exciting, but that's not all that life has in store for you guys. Me included. I'm talking to myself. But it's just like, nip it in the butt. When you feel slighted, speak up. People are only going to respect you when you're able to get yourself in alignment with yourself. Like, you cannot have outside voices like, girl, okay, so Sasha just said this. You think she meant it like that? Get in alignment with yourself. Know that you felt offended by what the hell Sasha said to you, and go talk to Sasha like the adult you are. Leave people out of your drama. You don't need to conference call anybody. You don't need to group chat this. You know what hurts you with the Strength card. You know what brings certain emotions out of you, and at that point, dealing with it head on by yourself is pretty much the energy to be in. Like, it's not a reason to have anybody's energy influencing yours. You might be not upset about a situation, and you have people telling you, oh girl, you better than me, that couldn't be me. Nah dog, if that was me, I would have done this, I would have done that. That is not the energy to be sitting in right now. You're the only one that experiences feeling slighted by people, so only you pretty much know how to deal with it. So yeah, there's a call to action there. Again, say what you mean what you say, and be honest in your dealings, because at the end of the day, you can only fake the funk for so long. So even when you're 10-15 years into a friendship and you know it's not an energetic match, it's only a matter of time until it shows itself. And I'm just going to add in a personal note here. History, to me, makes betrayal even stronger. If I met you a month ago and you snake me today, I might not feel that as if, you know, this person I've been rocking with for 8, 9, 10 years slights me. So kind of just doing inventory, if that's the word. Yeah, doing inventory on the connections in your life. These are the last cards I am going to pull because I'm at the time. So yeah, it's basically time to stop breadcrumbing yourself. If you're going to gain the world, you don't want to be in night energy. Like, it's okay to enter in, but I feel like most of you are evolved or in the spaces where you can speak your truth honestly and keep moving forward. And like I said, no one is really gonna beat you up for speaking your truth. And if you're a truth speaker right now, you're being called into seclusion with that hermit mode. Your gifts are upgrading, meaning you won't know if that girl was talking about you, because you could probably hear it, or you could feel it, or you could sense it. And it's not that you need to be acting off of every first thing that you hear, but just give yourself space to really develop and step into these new gifts as they're being presented to us. When I say the veil is non-existent right now, it's literally non-existent. So even with that, just getting acclimated and adapting to this new climate that we're in, it's very, very what word am I looking for? The type of terrain. It's pretty smooth, but it's craters. It has craters, very shallow craters, not deep and shallow, but like a smooth road with craters. So it's not a lot. It's easy to navigate. So yeah, navigate it while it's easy. Step into that new energy with kind of, you know, an open heart. And although it might hurt, nothing is worth staying in this fighting energy. You shouldn't have to fight for connections. You shouldn't have to fight to be seen, to be heard, especially in group settings. And a lot of you are going to notice that as soon as you let go of these connections, your money flow is going to really, really increase. I did see that a lot. So I'll get up with you guys soon. I hope I'm not away for that long again. And I'll see you guys on the next episode.